The Quest. Wendy was in Biff's room. She needed help with her English project. "I'm writing a story about a quest," said Wendy, "but I'm stuck. I don't know what to write next." "I'm not sure if I can help," said Biff. "I don't know what a quest is." "It's a journey that someone makes to look for something that's been lost," Wendy explained. Biff still didn't understand what Wendy meant, so Wendy read out the first part of her story. "Long ago in a faraway place, there was a beautiful land called Ulam. Flowers grew everywhere. Animals lived in the woods peacefully. Everyone was happy there. In a big cave deep underground, there was a crystal bell. It was the bell of Ulam. It was beautiful. Even in the dark cave, it glowed like fire. When it rang, its note was like music. The sound of the bell told every animal, plant, and tree when it was spring or summer. The Abbey Grimlock lived in the cold, black mountains of Grim. He hated the goodness in Ulam. He wanted the crystal bell of Ulam, and he had spent years looking for it. At last, Grimlock found the bell. "The bell is finally mine. The land will be forever grim and cold," he said. Grimlock took the bell back to the land of Grim. He carried it through the forest and the rocky desert. At last, he reached his castle high in the mountains. The bell looked so shiny that Grimlock couldn't bear to look at it. He put it in the abandoned tower. Without the bell, the land of Ulam turned dark and gray. Snow fell in the summer. It was too cold for flowers and trees to grow. The animals and people were sad and unhappy. All the beauty had gone from the land, and the days became long and gloomy. Wendy looked at Biff. "That's as far as I've been written," she said. "What do you think?" "It's brilliant," said Biff. "So is someone going to go on a quest to get the bell back?" "Yes," said Wendy, "but it'll have to be someone brave like a knight." Dad came into Biff's room. Biff and Chip had a dentist appointment. "Chip and I need to go to the dentist for a checkup," said Biff. "Would you like to wait here for me?" "Sure," said Wendy. "I've just got an idea on what to write next." "Mom's downstairs if you need anything," said Biff. "Good luck with your story." After Biff had gone, Wendy continued with the story about the quest. A girl should bring the crystal bell back, she thought. Yes, a brave and clever girl should go on the quest. Suddenly, the magic key began to glow, and Wendy was taken on a magic adventure. The magic key took Wendy to the land of Ulam. The land was cold and bare. Grimlock was waiting for Wendy. He was hiding behind a tree. He wanted to stop Wendy from going on the quest. He turned himself into an old woman. Grimlock pretended to pass it by. "Hello, my dear, what are you doing in the forest?" he said. Telling an old woman won't do any harm, Wendy thought. "I'm going to get the crystal bell back from the evil Grimlock," she said. Grimlock pointed. "Then go that way," he said. Wendy went in the way that Grimlock had shown her. Soon the ground became wet and muddy. Wendy's feet sank into the mud. Is this really the right way? She wondered. Suddenly, she stepped into a muddy swamp. Oh, help! I'm sinking! Help me, somebody! She shouted in panic. Wendy was frightened. She was sinking deeper and deeper as she struggled. Suddenly she saw a white unicorn standing on the edge of the swamp. Hold on, it said. It was holding out a branch in its mouth. Hang on to this branch and I will put you out. Quick, jump on my back, cried the unicorn just as Wendy got out of the swamp. As the unicorn galloped through the forest, Grimlock shot an arrow at Wendy. He was furious. You'll never get the crystal bell back, he shouted angrily. You'll never get past the dragon. At last, the unicorn stopped. You must go on alone, it said. This is as far as I can go. There's a ring tied to a ribbon round my neck. Take the ring. It'll give you one wish. Use it wisely. When they took the ring, and the unicorn galloped away. When they made their way across the rocky desert, she was hot and tired. She had almost wishes for a drink when she remembered what the unicorn said. She didn't want to waste her wish. Then she heard a shout. It was a gnome. Help me, please, pleaded the gnome. Wendy untied the gnome. Oh, thank you, he cried. I was tied up here by Grimlock. This is where he feeds his dragon. But why did he want to feed you to the dragon? Asked Wendy. Because I burned his toast this morning, said the gnome. Suddenly, the gnome began to tremble. Oh no, he squeaked. The dragon's coming. Oh, help, said Wendy. What should I do? The gnome rummaged through his bag and gave her a lemon. Try this, he said. Dragons hate lemons. They can't bear the smell. Wendy began to peel the lemon. Are you sure this will work? She asked. I don't know, said the gnome. I've never tried. There's only one way to find out. The dragon was coming right at them. Wendy held out the lemon. Tissue! Went the dragon. It gave a terrible roar and flew away. Hooray! Shouted the gnome. You did it! I was frightened, said Wendy, but the lemon worked. The gnome handed her a mirror. Take this mirror. You'll need it to kill the basilisk. It's even worse than the dragon. Oh, Basil, what? Asked Wendy in doubt. A basilisk, said the gnome. It's a monster whose eyes can turn people into stone. So how can I kill it with a mirror? Asked Wendy. When you see the basilisk, don't look into its eyes. Hold up the mirror and let it look into its own eyes. Will it work? Asked Wendy. I don't know, said the gnome. I've never tried. There's only one way to find out. Suddenly, with a growl, the basilisk charged at them. Wendy held up the mirror, and the monster was killed by its own terrible eyes. Hooray! Shouted the gnome. You did it! I was really frightened, said Wendy. You are very brave, said the gnome. I've never met a brave, good person before. What are you doing here? So Wendy told him her story. I will help you, the gnome said. The gnome took Wendy up the mountains to Grimlock's castle. They went up the steep path. The gnome knew a secret way to get in. This way to the kitchen, whispered the gnome. I'm frightened, but here goes, said Wendy. At last Wendy and the gnome came to the room where the crystal bell was kept. Wendy gasped when she saw it. She couldn't believe how beautiful it was. I've been expecting you, said the Grimlock standing behind her. You can spend the night here, hissed the Grimlock. Tomorrow I'll feed you both to the dragon. Oh no, said the gnome. What shall we do now? When they looked at the magic ring, it's time I make my wish, she said. When these wishes started to work, the bell began to ring. Its sound grew louder and louder. It rang so loudly through the castle that plates and cups broke, and the glass in the windows cracked. Hour after hour the bell rang. Grimlock's ears hurt as the bell grew louder and louder. Grimlock couldn't bear the noise any longer. He tried to smash the bell with a hammer, but it only made it ring even louder. Stop it! Stop it! Cried the Grimlock. I can't stand it. The sound of the bell is killing me. My ears are going to burst. At last Grimlock came to Wendy for help. Can you please make it stop? He begged. Yes, said Wendy, but you must let me take it back to Ullum. If you don't, it will begin to ring again, and it'll never stop. Take it, said the Grimlock. Take it back to Ullum. So Wendy and the gnome took the bell back to Ullum, and quest was over. When the bell returned, Billy came back to the land again. Birds sang, flowers bloomed, and new leaves grew on branches of the trees. Everyone gave Wendy and the gnome a cheer. The magic began to glow. It's time for me to go, said Wendy. She gave the ring to the gnome. The magic is used up, she said, but keep the ring to remember the quest. The gnome's eyes filled with tears. Thank you, he said. I will never forget you. Biff came back from the dentist. Sorry I was a long time, she said. Did you get to finish your story? Was the bell rescued? Wendy gave Biff her story. Why don't you find out yourself? Said Wendy, smiling. The end.